me just stop there. Attempted murder of your wife. Right.
We came home from the restaurant. I was downstairs, he was up. Suddenly he comes downstairs a couple of hours later. He's got his underpants on. I thought he was ready for bed. And suddenly he just said, "We've made a decision." And I'm like, "We've?" "Yes, and you've got to die." And I'm like, "Okay, all right."
And so what did he do then?
He lunged on me and, got me down to the floor and started strangling me.
How close did it get?
Pretty damn close.
The FBI found shocking evidence after their suspicions were confirmed. Neighbors reported it was strange they could only hear crickets at Ozzy's home, no loud music blaring from speakers, no human activity for days, no dogs barking, no signs of life. Mail piled up outside, and the usually active security system was eerily silent. Definitely something was not right.
I always thought I was king of the earth.
Well, you are a living legend. It's official, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here in the bowels of his Californian mansion.
The neighbors called in an air ambulance to the Osbourne home on July 22, 2025, to provide advanced critical care, though it was too late. When authorities entered, they found Ozzy in his favorite armchair in the living room, a glass of untouched whiskey nearby. His body was in a bad shape because it had been there for days. Upstairs in their bedroom, you'll find scattered prescription pill bottles. The place had been vacant for a while now. The scene was unsettling. There were no signs of forced entry, no blood, no evidence of a struggle. 2 of their dogs roamed the house, anxious but alive, starved and neglected. The coroner's initial report listed Ozzy's cause of death as heart failure, which makes sense when you remember his long battle with Parkinson's disease and complications from a 2019 fall that aggravated old injuries. But something didn't sit right. Ozzy had survived worse. Why had no one checked on him sooner? What family drama has been away from the public throughout his career? These questions sparked a firestorm, and the FBI's involvement only deepened the mystery. It was at his Grade 2 listed mansion in Buckinghamshire, England that he died, and that was where his body was discovered by friends and family. Too little too late, you might say. But this is where things take a shocking turn. Farewell tour. Barely 2 weeks before, the Prince of Darkness completed his farewell tour, which was basically a blockbuster reunion of Black Sabbath and a tribute to their work over the decades from heavy metal superstars. But no one saw this tragedy coming. Ozzy died at the age of 76, but the official report of how his body was discovered paints a haunting picture. As the FBI dug deeper, unsettling evidence emerged, and what seemed like a superstar coming to a glorious end is now a web of financial motives and suspicious circumstances. What if the clues suggest someone close to Ozzy knew more than they let on? Ozzy's wife and manager, Sharon Osbourne, has been a powerhouse in the music industry that built a reputation as a savvy manager and television personality, but her business dealings and tumultuous relationship with Ozzy Osbourne leave us with more questions unanswered.
Show that night with my father. They performed at this club in London, and I was so in awe of what I was seeing. Again, I hadn't seen anything like that, because all the artists that we had dealt with were very slick and a different category of music, different genre of music, just totally different. And then when I saw and how electric it was and how different, I was like blown away. I was like, whoa. So that's when I became interested in Black Sabbath.
While Sharon's role in reviving Ozzy's career is undeniable, whispers of financial irregularities and controversial decisions have cast shadows over her legacy. Her 43-year marriage to Ozzy has been marked by love, chaos, and public scandals. Sharon Osbourne's business acumen transformed Ozzy's career, but some of her financial decisions have sparked questions about her methods. As his manager since 1979, she controlled the Osbourne empire, estimated at $220 million at the time of Ozzy's death on July 22, 2025, overseeing everything from album sales to Ozzfest and the Osbournes' reality show. While her strategies were often brilliant, what could these strategic moves to secure her future mean?
It was in the news not too long ago that Ozzy had been unfaithful, but I hear that everything is okay now.
Oh, yes. He's fine. He's fine. Listen, it's tough, when you're an addict. It's like he likes too much alcohol, he likes too much drugs, he likes too much sex, he likes too much food. Everything is too much.
Right.
So it's tough for somebody that suffers with that.
That's nice. So
Sharon created Ozzfest in 1996, a landmark heavy metal festival that grossed over $100 million and drew millions of fans. But her management of the event raised red flags. In 2005, during an Ozzfest performance in Devore, California, Sharon was accused of sabotaging Iron Maiden's set. She allegedly orchestrated power cuts 3 times during their performance, encouraged the crowd to throw eggs at the band, and verbally harassed frontman Bruce Dickinson. Some sources say this was from a feud after Dickinson criticized Ozzfest's corporate vibe and Sharon's reality TV persona. Could this ruthlessness extend to financial dealings? Yet financial irregularities surfaced around Ozzfest. In 2007, Sharon announced free tickets for that year's festival, a move framed as fan-friendly. But industry insiders speculated it was a tactic to offset declining ticket sales and boost merchandise revenue, which Sharon controlled tightly. Reports suggested that unsigned bands on Ozzfest's second stage faced high buy-in fees to perform, essentially paying for exposure while Sharon's management company reaped the profits. Was she building Ozzy's legacy or padding her own pockets?
And it's great, and then the second month, the kids are, where's Dad? We really want to see Dad, and I want to really see Dad too. And then by the third month, it's like, oh, no, we can make it work.
I wouldn't imagine that you're...
Then the Osbournes had their self-titled family reality show that ran from 2002 to 2005. It was a gold mine, earning $20,000 per episode in its first season and up to $5 million in the second. Sharon, as executive producer, had significant control over its profits. However, the show's success came with financial opacity. Only Sharon could tell you exactly how much was made and where it could be. In 2007, Sharon and Ozzy auctioned 600 items from their Beverly Hills mansion, including Ozzy's leather pants, a gilded Buddha statue, and a dining table used by celebrities like Elton John, aiming to pocket $1 million. Sharon framed it as, quote, decluttering, with some proceeds going to her Cologne Cancer Foundation, but the timing, post-Osbourne's peak, suggested a cash grab to maintain their lavish lifestyle. The auction raised questions about whether Sharon was liquidating assets to cover undisclosed financial pressures, especially as Ozzy's touring revenue waned due to health issues.
Wasn't, but we worked it out after I got him glasses and said, my God, you do need glasses. Who would do that with that? So anyway, he now wears very thick bifocals and he's fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. That was so nicely done.
I know,
And here's what they're not telling you. The couple's real estate dealings added fuel to the fire. In 2011, Sharon listed their 11,000 square foot Hidden Hills, California mansion for $12.9 million, selling it in 2013 for $11.5 million. Another deal was a 2015 sale of their Hollywood Hills property. Sharon could turn personal assets into quick profits. While legal, these moves suggested a pattern of leveraging Ozzy's fame for financial security, often with Sharon as the decision-maker, especially as Ozzy's health declined. Her management company, Sharon Osbourne Management, handled high-profile acts like the Smashing Pumpkins, Motorhead, and Queen, which earned her a spot on the 2009 Sunday Times Rich list. But with Ozzy not fully in the picture, her management style raised eyebrows. Former clients, including members of the Choir Boys, fought with Sharon over royalty splits and contract terms, alleging Sharon put her and Ozzy's interests first over theirs. But in 2013, Ozzy relapsed into substance abuse again, and Sharon was quick to control the narrative, denying divorce rumors while managing his public image. This control extended to finances, with reports of Sharon consolidating accounts and redirecting funds during Ozzy's vulnerable periods.
It was pretty damn scary because, you're in a house, no neighbors each side, your kids are asleep, you're on your own. What the hell do you do? It's frightening.
But you must have thought to yourself, what am I doing here? Why am I staying in this? What was the answer when you asked yourself that?
Oh, God, yeah. Many times I would consider it, and I'd go through the scenarios in my head. And that one time when Ozzy was arrested, we were parted for 3 months. And, of course, the first month it was like, oh, heaven, no arguments. There's, lovely atmosphere in the house.
And this is where things go completely off the rails. Post-2016, after Ozzy's affair with hairstylist Michelle Pugh, Sharon's financial oversight tightened. Bank records from this period, though not public, were rumored to show large transfers to private accounts under Sharon's name, raising questions about whether she was protecting assets or diverting them. It's impossible to say for sure, but what do you think given her history of aggressive business tactics and financial maneuvers? Ozzy's bad health was also a problem since that left the weight of the entire empire on her shoulders, but tell us what you think in the comments section below. Why would Sharon do all this? In 1989, Ozzy, under the influence, attempted to strangle Sharon, declaring, "I've decided you have to go." She called the police, leading to his arrest for attempted murder, though she dropped the charges and he entered 6 months of medical detention. Sharon considered divorce but stayed for their children and her love for Ozzy.
Don't ask me to do that again, because it's got bollocked to death.
Decades later, Ozzy would have the 2016 affair with Michelle Pugh, another blow. Upon discovering the 4-year affair, Sharon attempted suicide by overdosing on pills and briefly separated from Ozzy. They reconciled, but Sharon's public comments about the betrayal suggested lingering resentment, which could have fueled financial decisions to secure her future. Was it a coincidence that the 2016 split coincided with Sharon's increased financial oversight? Rumors of offshore accounts and consolidated assets surfaced, suggesting she was protecting herself after years of Ozzy's unpredictability. She is a woman who could act decisively, perhaps ruthlessly, when threatened. She might have found a way to evolve through the pain and heartache, but at what cost? As Ozzy's health declined due to Parkinson's, a 2019 fall requiring surgeries, and a 2022 COVID-19 hospitalization, Sharon became his primary caregiver, managing his medical and financial affairs. But there's a pact they both signed to control their fate, the 2007 Assisted Suicide Pact. By 2025, with Ozzy's touring limited and medical costs soaring, Sharon Osbourne had full control over the Osbournes' empire she single-handedly built over the decades. The couple's public image had been bolstered by the Osbournes and their 2023 podcast as one of enduring love, with Sharon calling Ozzy her soulmate on their 40th anniversary in 2022. But behind the scenes, her control over his $220 million estate, coupled with his reliance on her, created opportunities for financial maneuvering. The absence of Ozzy's medications at the time of his death, combined with reports of Sharon contacting lawyers about estate matters, fuels speculation. Could she have been positioning herself to secure assets, knowing his health was failing? The truth remains that Ozzy's health had been fragile for years. Diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2003 before making it public in 2020, he also suffered from chronic pain after a 2019 fall that required multiple surgeries. His heart condition, compounded by decades of drug and alcohol abuse, demanded a strict regimen of medications. Yet, when police searched the Buckinghamshire mansion, those medications were missing. Empty pill bottles were found, but no refills, no pharmacy records, no evidence Ozzy had been taking them recently. This wasn't just an oversight, it suggested someone had removed or withheld his meds. The FBI's digital forensics team uncovered a bombshell. Cell tower data revealed a burner phone signal near the house the night before Ozzy's death, untraceable and bouncing between towers to mask its origin. Was this random or a calculated move? 2 weeks after his gigantic farewell tour, Ozzy dies. Kelly Osbourne denied it was relevant, but the timing raises questions. Was Sharon in on this, or someone is trying to point all fingers at her? The shrewd financial moves all point to someone with intimate knowledge of the Osbourne household. Sharon's role as manager and caregiver makes her the linchpin. The burner phone suggests an outside player, but her financial activity, offshore transfers, estate inquiries, implies she was deeply involved. No one was tending to the house, even though Sharon was still married to him. Ozzy's heart meds were missing. Is this a pattern of neglect or intent?
2 hands, not half a hug, okay?
I'm going for like 24 hours.
The autopsy reports found no signs of violence, but the lack of medication suggests a silent, deliberate act. The financial trail, with millions moved before his death, points to premeditation. Was Sharon protecting the family's legacy, or securing her own future? The unanswered question of the burner phone lingers. Was she working with someone, or was she a pawn in a larger scheme? The FBI's investigation culminated in a bombshell. Sharon will potentially face charges of financial fraud and obstruction of justice, accusations of manipulating Ozzy's estate. It's hard to believe Sharon is the mastermind because you don't wait until after 4 decades of marriage to pull your slick move. Most gold diggers move quickly, usually within the first few years of marriage. Besides, the burner phone and unidentified associate were never traced. Was she being implicated by someone, a family member or a business partner? Maybe someone looking to take advantage of a greatly beloved superstar with too many impulses? Ozzy's death feels less like an accident and more like a slow fade than the fact it could have been orchestrated by someone close. As a matter of fact, not many bet on the Prince of Darkness to make it past the 80s, let alone till the mid-2020s. What do you think happened? The truth may never fully surface, but was Sharon a victim of circumstance, or did she hold the key to a darker plan?